There are so many people that dream all around the world to visit this place because I think it's really impressive. There's many more camper around now traveling us because there are so many beautiful places to visit, and the people they should know there is so many other places, not just the most famous attraction.
So, hi Alban, thank you so much for meeting with us and sharing your local perspective in Italy about overtourism. In case our customers don't know you and your company yet, maybe you can introduce yourself shortly. That would be amazing.
Of course, nice to meet you. My name is Alban. I'm the account rental manager of Caravan. We are a camper dealer of Northeast Italy. Precisely, we are located in the city of Pordenone, just 1 hour from Venice. Okay, in the region of Friuli Venezia Giulia. We are also a proud partner of Motorhomes Italy. Okay, we collaborate since many years with Motorhomes Italy for especially for customers abroad for every part of the world. So yes, we have many rental camper vans for every model. Okay, from the camper van small until the big one for family for 6, even 7 people. We have rental camper van available for all the year. So especially in the summer, but also during the winter, during the spring, autumn, all the seasons. We also are. We have 2 brands when where we are official partner. One is a German brand called Weinsbergen, okay, of the Knaus Taber Group, and we are also official brand of and there is a Italian brand of the big group of Trigano Camping.
So you have great impact of everything that's regarding camping in Italy.
Yes, we were in Campervan here in Italy, especially we are located here in the Northeast. So a lot of people want to rent the campervan here, especially for the tourists from other countries. They come here to our shop to rent campervan to discover Veneto, the region of Veneto, because here in the region there is the Dolomite area. There is very very popular, and so many people want to rent to go for hiking to the mountains because it's very famous places. There are so many people that dream all around the world to visit this place because I think it's really impressive, it's very beautiful for the mountain lovers. So yes, the main reason why the people from other countries come here to rent campervan is I think for discover the Dolomites, but also to discover a lot of beautiful places they are around this area. We are really close to Bucharest, also Austria. Also, we are located just 1 hour from Venice. A lot of beautiful cities like Venice, for example. There is also Trieste, Verona, and it's a good point to start if you want to discover the center of Italy, for example. Going to even people that rent to travel to the South Italy. So it's a good point to start because there is so many good places to visit from here. Yeah.
I can imagine, yeah.
As the network was shortly interrupted in between, maybe you can repeat. Are most of the people renting camper vans in Italy are the national tourists or the international tourists?
Yeah, I mean, well, the majority of the people are local people. They live here in the area in the northeast Italy. They rent here, for example, to discover other places. So they start from home and they go, for example, traveling around all Europe. For example, during the summer, we have so many people that rent the camper van to go to the South Italy, but also in other countries like Croatia is a very popular destination. Even, for example, in the North Europe is starting to become very popular destination. For example, Norway, Sweden, or France, for example, is very popular destination. But these are the destination choose from the people, the local people, the Italians that live here in the area, okay, and they decide to spend the summer holidays in other countries, renting a camper van from here. The other customers, the customers coming from abroad, so from other countries, from Europe and also around the world, rent the camper van here in our shop to go, especially in the Dolomites. So the mountain lovers, the people want to discover mountains, hiking. They choose to rent the camper van, and going to the Dolomites is just 1 hour, 1 hour and a half from here. And this is the most popular destination of the place for the people, for the foreign tourists.
As you said, there are many people, especially in summer. Maybe you can tell us more about how tourism has changed over the past years, and especially in the current season, which is upcoming now, I guess.
I mean, the camper tourism was a trend of type of vacation even before the pandemic. But after the pandemic, the request for camper van to rent and also to buy a camper van increased a lot. So in the last years after the pandemic, we had so many requests from people they want to rent or buy a camper van. So we have many tourists compared with the past. So there's a lot of requests because now it starts to be a really type of popular vacation, the vacation with camper, because it's perfect if you are traveling with your family, but also it's perfect if you are traveling just a couple with your husband, with your wife. Okay, so we have so many type of people that want to rent a camper van. The most typical, of course, is the family.
We are both campers ourselves, so we think it's a beautiful way to travel as well. You talked about the camper van rentals. Did you also observe some changes in the infrastructure, like camping spaces to stay overnight? How did that develop?
Yes, of course. In many areas, they are starting to increase the number of the campsites because, of course, if the question of camper is increasing, there's many more camper around now traveling. So a lot of places, especially the local, the most touristic places, they need to add more campsites to have enough places for all the tourists that want to travel there. So it's increasing, but I think in some period of the year, especially in the peak points, like during the summer, the question of campsite is very high, so it's very difficult if you are traveling in a popular destination like Dolomites, especially in some points. It starts to be very difficult to find a spot where you can stay because there are so many people that want to go there, and the places for camper van, they are not enough. So I think in some places, but I'm not saying all the Dolomites, we can start to talk about Overtourism because there's so much movement in some point of the year.
So summing up, you think that there are less campsites for too many tourists, actually?
Yeah, of course.
In the high season?
In the high season, of course, yeah, especially in the high season. For example, if you are traveling now, it's much easier to find a spot, okay, to park your camper van. But if your plan is traveling during the summer, the peak season, I think you have to move first possible because there's a lot of requests. So you should start to book, for example, a campsite with advance some months before in some cases. It depends, of course, in the place where you go. Because Dolomites, for example, I'm making the example of Dolomites because it's the most famous example here, and it's a very huge area. But there are some spots where, for example, there's maybe another, I don't know, a famous lake, a famous hiking where all the people go there because, of course, they know it's a beautiful places. But of course, if a lot of people want to go there, it starts to be difficult to find a place for everyone, you know.
Yeah, and now you talked about the campsites, that there's not enough plots for the many campers coming to Italy, especially the Dolomites. But are you currently observing some other over-tourism related challenges, maybe like wild campers, or that there's trash in some places from the campers?
Yeah, I think when a lot of people start to go there, it starts to be a issue this because so many people, and of course many of them, they are not expert. So a lot of people, they rent a camper van, for example, is the first time. So many people maybe don't know the rules, don't know that you have to go in a specific area. So I think when a lot of people start to go there, and there's a lot of people that are beginners, you can start to have some issues because they are not very educated in the world of the camping, you know. So yes, but I think this is common in every places when you can find over tourism.
Of course.
But,
so you would
yeah.
say the most common issues are the known ones, like trash and maybe noise, if people don't really know about it.
Yes, I heard that in some places, for example, when once in a time was possible to park the camper van without paying. Now, for example, they start to put the paying the tax, okay, to stay there. Or, for example, in some area, in some small towns, I heard that it's not possible to camping there because the local people asked the administration to forbid the campsite, okay, because maybe they had in the past problem with tourists that put trash, not educated, not polite. So in some places, I think they are starting to do some prohibitions. Yes, so of course. It starts to be a little bit more difficult, and you have to program something because you have to know that in one area you can stay, in other places maybe it would be a little bit more difficult, or there are some restrictions that you have to know if you go there.
I think the Amalfi Coast is maybe like an example for this.
Of course, there is another example of Italy. Is a little bit far from our. I'm making the example of Dolomites because it's a close area for us. We have a lot of customers that go there, so I'm making the example from there. But in Italy, there is the problem of over-tourism. Is you can find this problem in so many places, not just in the mountains. I'm talking about the mountain because it's a perfect spot for the vacation with camper. So it's a perfect example to do it because I know that problem, and if in the world of camper, it's something that is connected with the over tourism of camper van, not just the classic over tourism of tourism in general. Okay.
Yeah.
Of booking Airbnb like this or apartments, hotel. Yes, but it's a problem that you can find in many places in Italy.
Yeah, camping has some potential to lessen the over-tourism effects in some places, and in other places it's very specifically bringing some other problems, right?
Yeah, because I was talking about the over-tourism in the Dolomites, but it's not in the old Dolomites. You can find it just in some famous spots. They are sponsored by a certain network, for example. But there's also here close to us so many beautiful places in mountain in Dolomites. They are hidden. They are not very known for the people. So you can find the same spot with many tourists and the same thing, but with less people. So it's very important to know where you are going, and you have to know that in some area it would be difficult, and in the other area would be much easier, of course, with the all respect possible. But is a problem in so many spots. In some spots, yeah.
So you think the first option to lower the overtourism is that people are going to less famous spots?
Yeah,
for
true,
example.
true, yeah.
But are there other things that campers could do differently, especially in Italy, especially in your region, to avoid issues in the future?
I think the biggest problem is this, because so many people want to go to the same place, and if so many people go to the same place, of course, we have a crowded place. But where I live, for example, in the region of Friuli Venezia Giulia, there is less famous than Veneto, for example. We have so many beautiful places and mountains, and they are not known because maybe they're not very sponsored in the social network, you know. And I think in one part this is better, okay. But you can have the same experience. And you can feel the vacation with camper more authentic, because they are not crowded places, and they are still beautiful places. So I think the most the 2 points of the overtourism in the Dolomites, for example, is the less spots and the very famous spot where all the people go, and of course the problem of the season, because many people travel to the Dolomite, of course, during the summer. But if you go even in a local spot, in a place very famous, outside the summer, it would be less crowded. You will find less people there. If you go, for example, during the autumn, that is beautiful, because there is the foliage season. The fall is very beautiful to go there, and it's not crowded like during the summer. So if so many people go there in the same places in the same period, we can talk about the overtourism. But if you go in other period of the year, that is still beautiful during the fall. Or if you are a sky lover, you can go during the winter. You can go to ski, snowboarding also, and you can also find a better atmosphere, I think, because when you find very beautiful places, but with so many people, it's like ruining the moment, you know. So
yes,
I think it's a better experience, you know, traveling with less people. It's more quiet. It's also cheaper, and in the end, you feel a better experience.
And I can imagine.
With the camper it's possible, and with the camper it's possible just to go to other beautiful sites, because you're flexible.
Of course, there are so many beautiful sites here of mountain, for example. But I think the people, a lot of people, they have the mentality to go in the places to make a photo that they saw in the social network. I mean, there is nothing wrong about it, but you have to know that is the idea of so many people they want to do the same thing. So it's a problem maybe for the environment, the people that live there, you know, because I think I'm talking about the small towns, so they are not ready to handle so many people in one day. So it's an issue for the people that live there.
So I can imagine your customers. It's a good idea to rent locally with you, for example, to really get these tips also, where to go, where it's not so crowded, and how to behave, so that it's nicer for your vacation, but also for everyone else.
Yeah, I'm always glad to have the people, especially the people they come from other countries, to suggest the best places to go, okay, where they can enjoy the best experience. And yes, I think it's very important for the camper dealer like us to give the people some advice, some tips to have the best vacation, some alternative, because Many people want to go there because they saw the places on their phone. But it's also very beautiful to have the people and give some other options. Okay, other options they never find in the internet, in the social network. And I think this is just a big, a small help that can help the people and the customers.
Yeah, beautiful. Do you want to add any tips for our customers or mutual customers where they could look up certain tips or rules, or just come to you and ask?
No, I mean, it's good to first make a personal research, okay? And because I think now in these years, their traveling is affordable for, I think, everyone. So there is many people compared with the past they are traveling. So I think it's very important to have a lot of research about the place you want to travel, you want to visit, because you have to know that one place maybe you would like to go is across places, and if you go, for example, just 20 meters away from there, you can find also another beautiful places but less crowded. So I think it's very important for the customer, they want to rent a camper van, to find a lot of alternative, a lot of other options. Okay, so just don't go there just in one place. But if I don't find a spot there when I can park, I know that I can go just 20 minutes, 10 minutes from there. I can find another beautiful spot and I can enjoy my vacation with a camper.
Yeah, perfect.
So you have to do a big research, especially if you are traveling during the summer, because I know, of course, there are so many people, they rent the camper van during the summer because the holidays are in that period. So you have to know that, and I'm not saying it's difficult, but you have to know much things, okay, during that period. So it's okay, you can still travel there, but you have to be prepared. Yes.
Okay, I think that's the perfect answer to the last question. If there are any tips to find in the internet, I think social media can be a risk for more overtourism, but can also be a chance to recommend more hidden places which are not so crowded yet. And
yeah, that's true. I think you have with the use of social network, for example, the place that you can find there, it's in part is a good point, is a good thing, but the other point, it's be dangerous, I can say, because with the example of the Dolomites, there are some spots they became very famous now during the social media era, because before the use of the social media area will be that point where hidden places, but now they are really famous about the social media advertising. So it would be very good to find more alternatives, more other places sponsorized, okay, not only the same places, because there are so many beautiful places to visit, and the people, they should know there is so many other places, not just the most famous attraction. And I think traveling with a camper van is discovering something that is difficult to find with other type of vacation, because we are traveling with your camper, so you can decide in the moment where to go. You don't have schedules with planes, with trains, or hotels. You can change your schedules whenever you want to. Okay, so this is the biggest advantage of traveling with a camper.
Yeah, that's a very nice conclusion, to make use of the flexibility of camping and the camper
van.
Be
flexible, yeah.
Yeah, true. Nice. I like that.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your insights and your perspective.
It was a pleasure. Thank you too.